Katie here from the Queen of Teen Fiction. So it is time to draw on our runes because we need to talk about all things Shadowhunters. So as you probably know by now, unless you have been living under a rock, quite literally, ABC Family aired a documentary on Sunday night called Beyond the Shadows, The Making of Shadowhunters. So we got our first behind the scenes look at Shadowhunters, and just to get that in the first place is really amazing because we're actually getting a documentary before the show even airs. So I've been really excited about this for weeks. But obviously I live over here in the UK, so I could not watch the documentary live. I had to wait for some beautiful, kind and nice soul to upload the entire thing to YouTube, and that in itself was a struggle. I spent the whole of Monday searching for one that I could actually hear as well as see. I finally got a low quality version of it on Monday night, so that was when I actually got to watch it. But it was completely worth the wait, let me tell you that now. If you haven't seen it, then I am sure you will be able to find it somewhere out there. If you're in the US, then you can watch it on ABC Family's app, I think. If you are not in America, then there are versions of it online. Just have a little looky. But I am assuming that most of you have seen it already. And so I had to make a discussion video about it because it's the first real inside look that we've got into the show. Even though we've been getting a lot of little trailers and clips and behind the scenes pictures, I felt like this was our real first look into the show. I definitely took a lot of new information away from it. Yeah, where do I even start? What do I even talk about first? I don't even know. Okay, who am I kidding? I totally know where I'm going to start. Obviously, I'm going to start talking about Malik, because that is one of the main things that I took away from this documentary. I was not expecting the level of Malik that we got in that behind the scenes look. There were just so many cute little clips and stuff. So I am having to share gifts with you from my phone. I mean, I have my Kindle, but Tumblr Mobile is bad enough. Tumblr on Kindle, it's really not worth the distress. So yeah, you're gonna have to deal with my phone and you probably can't see any of the things that I'm showing you. Yay for production values. So yeah, anyway, one of the first scenes that really caught my eye and that I really loved was the scene where Magnus and Alec are introducing themselves to each other. And I love this so much. Look at his dorky little face as he introduces himself to Magnus. Look at that dorky little smile. I think if I remember rightly from whilst the filming was happening, I think they said that they wanted to avoid showing Alec looking happy and smiley until he shared scenes with Magnus. And you can definitely see that in this scene because so far what we've seen of Alec has all been quite serious looking shots of him with his bow and arrow. So then we get this scene where he's finally meeting Magnus properly and he's just grinning like an idiot, and I think it's just so cute. I've just reblogged everything Malik related on Tumblr. Oops. As Matt said himself in the documentary, we see Alec finally learn what love really is when he meets Magnus, and that's exactly how it is in the book, so I'm very glad that they're portraying it that well on screen. I'm also really glad that the documentary gave us a really good look into Alec, and we got lots of little clips of him with his bow and arrow and stuff. And I'm just so happy because we were denied that in the movie, and now look at all the fabulous Alec that we're getting. And also the same can be said of Magnus as well. Like in the film, we all know how well that went. We're finally getting to see the Magnus in action that we truly deserve. Seeing Harry play Magnus is just exactly how I pictured Magnus. This is what I wanted from the movie and never got. So it's great to finally see the Magnus that we all know and love. And also I'm really happy with all the Malik stuff because in the film we got about 5 seconds of eye contact and awkward interaction, and then Magnus saving Alec whilst he was unconscious, and that is literally all we got. Whereas in this, the show hasn't even aired yet and we're already seeing so much Malik, and it makes my heart happy. I just have to point out my favourite gif because I cannot get enough of this gif whatsoever. Look at those eyes. Yes, I completely understand Magnus. How could you not fall for that? All of those people that are still complaining that Alec doesn't have blue eyes, I mean, do you really care that much? As long as he's looking at Magnus like that, does the eye colour really count? I mean, really, is it that important? To me, the fact that they are portraying the relationship honestly and true to the book is more important to me. Yeah, anyway, that was my little fangirling session about Malik. I am such Malik trash. Also, one thing that I found very interesting is this scene where they are seemingly all gathering around an injured Luke. But it is interesting to point out that Magnus and Alec are holding hands here. So I am thinking that is where Magnus takes Alec's strength. We know it happens in the books. So I am thinking that is what they're showing here, which I'm really, really happy about. So moving away from Malik, because this isn't just a Malik discussion, even though all of my videos turn into a Malik discussion, I have to talk about how much I love the documentary showed the Parabatai bond. We finally get to see that connection between Alec and Jace that we never got to see in the film. They didn't even mention the word in the film, so just to hear the actors say the word is just the best thing. I especially really loved the hug between Jace and Alec that we got to see, because that is just exactly what I wanted from the film. In the film we really just didn't get to see that closeness between Jace and Alec at all. So I just love the way they're doing that in the show. There have been lots of little clips of Jace and Alec and that bond that they have. And when they had the cast talking about that, I think it did hint that they were going to show that side of Alec that's in love with Jace. So I'm really excited to see how that plays out on screen. Also, another little interesting thing that we got to see was Alec fighting with Jace. Now I have read a lot about this because I heard online that apparently Alec's going to become possessed and end up fighting with Jace. I can't remember whether I've mentioned this in a previous video or not, but I'm pretty sure it was just a rumour. But now that we've seen that on screen, we know that Alec does fight with Jace, and in that clip, Alec definitely does not look like Alec. He does look like a thing possessed, and I'm really excited to see that. Not only is it great for Matt to like play his own character but possessed, but it's also great to see how that's going to play out between two Parabatai. So I am really excited about that. Another thing I loved about this making of Shadowhunters was how much more we got to see of Clary. I think Kat is such a good Clary already, just from seeing those little behind the scenes clips. She's got a lot more sass to her than movie Clary had. Especially there is this little scene here between her and Alec, in which Alec says, "Emotions are nothing but a distraction. You're ruled by them, we're taught to control them." And then Clary's like, "How's that working out for you?" I really, really love that because it definitely shows a lot more sass from this Clary. And we see that there is definitely going to be that rift between Clary and Alec that there was from the book. Because although we got that in the movie, we didn't get to see as much of it as we did in the book, I don't think. And also I like how TV show Clary is already biting back. So whilst I got a little irritated with movie Clary, I am definitely all for TV show Clary. She is going to be the little firecracker that we all want her to be. Also in the documentary we got little hints here and there about Sizzy. I mean, we know that nothing really happens between Simon and Isabel in the first book, so I didn't expect much of it in the show either, because that's one of the more slow burning relationships throughout the series. And it looks like the TV show are going to give it that same slow build, which I'm really happy about, because you don't want to rush into every single relationship in the first season, because hopefully we will get more seasons and we will get to see it play out. And also we're getting to see Izzy's relationship with Meliorn, which we know happens in the books, but obviously we don't get to see any of it really because the books focus on Clary. So I'm excited to see that relationship, but you do get little hints of Simon and Isabel and something more between them. Just a couple of little clips, but it is enough to keep my Sizzy heart satisfied. The relationship between Jace and Clary, already I'm thinking it's 10 times better than it was in the film, because it was really cheesy in the film. So I'm hoping it's going to be a lot more believable in the show, which, judging by the documentary, I think it will be. I'm very excited to see that. I can't remember all the things that I wanted to talk about. I literally thought about them all before filming, and now that I'm here I can't remember any of it. Oh, there was a scene where Jace seems to be carrying Simon's body into a graveyard. So I'm thinking that's the whole vampire burial scene. So yeah, I think we're definitely going to get that this season. Also, they released a bunch of new posters after the documentary aired, and the Simon poster, I think he has fangs in it. So, you know, spoiler alert! I wonder what Simon could be. And Valentine, oh my god, how good does Valentine look? He looks so intimidating, and I'm so happy that we finally have an intimidating Valentine. But yeah, I can't think of anything else that I want to really talk about at the moment. But I was really, really happy with the documentary. I think it gave us a much better look into the show. And I also think it's a good way to introduce non-fans to the show. People that have never read the books before and don't have a clue what this is all about. So yeah, I'm really thrilled with the documentary. I'm very, very glad that they made it. I hope it squashed some of the doubts that people had before seeing it. it. So it's definitely made me more excited for January 12th. Or 13th in my case, because I won't get to see it until the day after. Why? That is going to be the longest day of my life, having to wait until I come home on the 13th and get to actually watch the show. I won't be able to go online at all for fear of seeing GIFs, because that's one thing I hate, is going online and seeing GIFs of something when you haven't seen it. But yeah, I will probably make a reaction video after the first episode, so we can discuss it. So that is all I want to say at the moment. Let me know what you thought of Beyond the Shadows. Did it help you feel better about the show? Are you more excited now? If you didn't really have any confidence in the show before, do you now? I know for me, I was excited before and I'm even more excited now. Please do let me know all of your thoughts in the comments. Also, if you want to cry about your favourite characters with me on my Tumblr account, I will leave a link to it in the description. Little advance warning that my Tumblr isn't just Mortal Instruments related. It is multi-fandom. There is a lot on my Tumblr. My Tumblr's a mess. But anyway, if you do want to talk to me about anything Shadowhunters related, then feel free. So thank you guys so much for watching. I am going to continue being Malik trash and reblogging every single GIF I can get my hands on, because I have been so deprived of a good on-screen portrayal of Malik that I'm just going to reblog everything that I can, because I'm still in shock at the fact that we have GIFs of them interacting. Like actually speaking to each other. But yeah, anyway, thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Bye!